everybody, welcome back. It's Billy again with another Awaken Chaos Era video. Today's video we're going to be talking about how you go about leveling your hero a little bit differently in this game in comparison to some of the other games that are out there. The way you gain experience, the way that you bank experience, the way that you grind to level up your skills, level up your gear, level up your stats with glyphs, and it's just completely different than any of the other games, which makes it very free-to-play friendly and makes it very equal to, regardless of how much money you spent in the game. As long as you put the grind in, you'll be able to get the resources necessary to build up your heroes to make them as strong as possible. So let's check it out. Hey everybody, welcome to another Awaken Chaos Era video. Today's video, we're going to be discussing how we progress our heroes, how we level them up, the different ways of doing that, and how the progression and leveling in this game is different than really any other game that I've ever played before. Very free to play friendly, and if we go down here to our Heroes tab and we look at Imogen here, we've got a couple different things, right? So we have Ascend, as we see over here on the left, and what Ascending does is it increases your stats as well as increases your skills. So we see attack 15%, defense 15%, speed plus 15, health plus 15. But this one here increases her or improves her ability. And then the last one has a plus 5% for each one. So every hero is going to be a little bit different in how that works. So if we look at him, William here, we've got defense. His second skill here, the second ascension, actually upgrades his skill. And then we've got health, attack, speed, and then all three. So they're slightly different for each of the heroes. So let's see. Yep. So we see it's got the little fire bolt or fire thing for the so this one, it was actually in the second skill. So each one's a little bit different, like I said, but ascending is one of the ways that we increase our heroes' stats. That's also one of the dupe systems. So there's two different ways that you can ascend a hero. Either with a scroll, this is a general scroll and this is a element specific scroll, or with a duplicate of that hero. So this is one way of handling dupes that you get. The other way is by banishing them, which I've explained in another video. So if we look at these next three over here, these are 100% pure grinding. So if you're in your dungeons, you grind your gear. If you're in the campaign, you grind glyphs. And if you're in the elemental dungeons, you grind these crystals. Okay? So if we look at gear, the first thing we see down here is we have a little manage. This allows us to select the specific types of gear, the specific stats on the gear, other stats on the gear, if it's equipped or not equipped, the specific set. You can sort it by enhancement, rarity, new, stars, all kinds of different ways that you can sort them. So it's got a pretty good gear sorting system. And then we look at how we level or enhance the gear. So we see if we hit the enhance button, we can either use this gem here, or let's remove one of those. We can use other necklaces. So those are the two ways that you can level up your gear. These you get as rewards. These you get from grinding campaign and or the dungeons. So we're going to go ahead and enhance that. So one thing we see is it guarantees to increase. So many of these other games you have a chance of it failing. These you don't. and our skill increased here. As we get further on into the levels, we'll get more skills, and then those will be increased as well. So let's go to our boots here. We'll go ahead and enhance this. Let's get to 9. Alright, so we see enhance a stat or add a new stat. So depending on the level will depend on what it will do. So we go ahead and enhance it, and we see here it looks like it added 1 to our health. So we went from plus 13 to plus 17%. And our primary stat increased as well. So gear, if we go to our tab up here and we go to our dungeons, Arcane Dominator is where we get our primary source of armor and accessories. And depending on what stage you are will depend on the level or the quality that's dropped. Or as you're going through your adventure or your campaign, you have the chance of dropping gear as well. So it randomly drops 4-star elite gear. So 2 different ways that you can get gear that you can use to increase your gear. So if we go back to our hero, then we go to glyphs. So glyphs is another way that we can increase our primary stats. You've got health, attack, focus, defense, and defense. So I need 2 more of these scrolls to increase those stats. So if I click it here, I see where I need to grind. So if I go to this stage, this is where I get them. So then I'll be able to level her up further, or increase her stats. So and as these, so as you see, this is a glyph level 2, this is a glyph level 3, this is a glyph level 1. So level 1, defense is plus 24. Level 2, defense is plus 24. And then here, defense is plus 36. I haven't got past glyph level 3 yet, still working on that. But again, grinding your adventure will give you experience, will give you these scrolls, will give you gold, will give you all kinds of resources you need. Then here we have our crystals that we get, and then our crystals are used to increase our skills here. So let's see if I've got any that I can increase.
Wars may be fought with weapons, but they are won by men.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and increase one of his skills. So we've got enough here. And it's going to randomly select a skill to increase. So far I've been pretty fortunate that his ultimate and his special are the 2 that have increased. So pretty easy, just keep grinding the gear or grinding the dungeons and you'll get the resources. Stage 7 or higher is where you get these the higher crystals from. So you see stages 7 to 9 is where you get those from. These stages 3 to 9 is where you get those from. And then stages 1 to 9 is where you get these from. So that pretty much covers how we increase our stats. And if we click more here, we do have more stats that are not particularly listed on the main stat screen. But we ascend them, we work on our gear, we work on our glyphs, and we work on our abilities. Now let's talk about how we increase the level. So we see here we've got promote. You know, once we've maxed out our level, we'll need 5 5-stars to make her a 6-star. Okay? The way we do that is farming is the typical way that we do it in most of these games, or we can also do it through experience jelly. So we'll take a look at how the experience jelly works. So we've got this guy here. Whenever you summon a hero, except for the common heroes, they're going to be 2-star. So we've got 363,053 jelly. So we're just going to go ahead and keep clicking upgrade until we get to 20. Alright, so now we've upgraded him all the way. Now we can promote him. So it basically takes, now go to 2 stars. Do not use these to level them up. And I'll explain to you why in a moment. So I've already made these commons into 2 stars. So now he's leveled up to 3-star. The reason why I say do not use the foodies is I highly recommend using these to make your 5 stars into 6 stars. You get different levels of foodies throughout the game, and if you just continue to increase them, then it's better to use these as food for your 5 stars to 6 stars. Don't use them for lower levels. Like if you've got a 2-star, when you get him, they're already maxed. So then go ahead and pump him up to 3-star. And then same thing, you level this one up until you max it at 3-star, and then you go up to 4-star. Okay. So we're going to take a look at now how we get our experience jelly. So we're going to go to, let's go to chapter 4, 1. So we're going to go ahead and fight our battle. So we're going to use these 2 and then 2 pieces of food, or 2 food units. Let's go with these 2 here. Actually, we're going to switch these 2. And I'll explain why in a moment. Okay. So, typically, when you farm, you normally have 1 farmer and 3 food units who you're leveling up. Or if you get a new unit, you're leveling up that unit. But this game is a little different. Okay, so 1, as you see, we just got a piece of gear there. But 2, we get XP as we farm. Okay, so normally when you farm, your farmer, the experience points that would have been used for that farmer are essentially lost because that farmer is maxed out, so you don't get any experience for that. However, in this game it's different. If you notice also above her reflect damage or counterattack, I don't remember what that skill is exactly, that carried on from the last round. So if you put up buffs, it carries on to the next round, which most games, when you cast a buff, when you move on to the next round on that stage, you lose that. So it's pretty cool that you keep that. It's something else that's different with this game opposed to the others that I've seen before. So as we see, now that when we beat this little dude, how the XP jelly works, okay? So we see that 2 of these units are maxed out. So we don't get experience for those 2 units. But wait, there's more. We actually do. So we get 960 experience jelly that will go into our bucket of experience jelly. And then we've got these 2 who collectively 960 experience that leveled them up. So you can either farm with a farmer and 3 food units, or as you're progressing or as you're grinding through the adventure to get those glyphs, to get gear, to get gold, whatever it is, you'll just naturally accumulate jelly, and then you can use that to upgrade your heroes. I have never been a fan of farming, so farming has always driven me nuts. So being able to gain experience points without having to farm, for me, is super helpful. So if we go back to our backpack here, we see, is it at, which one is it? This. we've got 356,000 jelly, and it just keeps adding onto it the more that we grind in the game. They give you free jelly every day during your free daily pack that's available. If we look at the Arcane dungeon, I've said before, there's either gold or there's experience jelly. When you see these pop up, grind them. You'll get, depending on your level, the highest I've got is about 10,000 gold, and I've gotten about 11,000 XP jelly. Um, so that's why it's important to grind these, because it's free resources. If we look at our daily sign-in, we get all kinds of jelly here as well. So they give it to you. They're just handing you resources left and right. Um, Even more reason why this game is so much more free to play friendly than any of these other types of games that I've played before. Um, and then on top of that, you can go into the market and then you can buy double experience in battle. So you can get even more jelly that way. Um, so that kind of covers everything that we're looking at doing on how we level up our champs, our heroes, and how it's different than really any of the other games. It's all about grinding. Apart from the ascending, these three here are all about just grinding the game, grinding the game, grinding the game. Makes it super free to play friendly. Um, so, yep, hopefully you enjoyed that, and be looking forward to see you in the next one.